Johnson, 97-time race winner here at this race 5 times. Once over his son, we'll talk about that in a minute. But the ageless one, Warren Johnson's been doing it now for 4 decades, and this is what it looked like last week in St. Louis when he won for the 97th time in his career, second only to John Force in all of the NHRA. Warren Johnson and his son, the Johnson family, on our NHRA race day set. Warren, good morning. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine so far.
We talked on Friday, and I used the word improbable to describe that win. There was a little bit of luck associated with it. What word would you describe?
Probably bizarre.
Bizarre, yeah?
It was just an unusual set of circumstances. Of course, you have to understand I've had to go the opposite way many a time, too. So maybe in a lifetime, all this luck will balance out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, Kurt, you've out-qualified the old man. You're number, 8 qualifier, I think,
Number
going
8.
into eliminations. He's number 16 on the bump spot. How did that happen? How did he give you the better equipment?
Well, we just happened to make a better run on Friday night. You know, it's so critical out there. These cars have to be absolutely perfect, and I think Dad had an issue with it popping out of third gear, so he would have been right there.
Warren, you've always been pacing Pro Stock for a number of years, and now maybe kind of playing a little bit of catch-up. How close are you to, the Ken Block teams, the Alan Johnsons and Roy Johnsons, and, of course, Mike Edwards and that juggernaut?
Well, we're about 300 or 400 off of where we really need to be competitive, and that's doable in the short term. It's just a case that we need some more test time and do a little bit more development at the shop. I think that we have enough power at this point. It's just getting it to the ground in an efficient manner.
Kurt, is your dad hard to work for?
No, actually, it's pretty easy. He just cuts me loose, and as long as we have a productive program and the motors are ready, there's no problems.
He's really a softy under that rough exterior. Isn't he?
Absolutely.
I always knew that.
Well, let's flash back and take a look at what happened back at this race in 1993 when Kurt Johnson made his first final ever and you had to race your dad. That's a pretty tough situation. Or was it? Did you even give him an opportunity, Warren? You looked like you crushed him there.
Went up there, did the best I could. He did the best he could. Fortunately, that day I won.
Was he another racer at that point?
I didn't even know there was anybody in the other lane.
That's a good Warren Johnson answer for you there. Let's take a look at the Pro Stock points, find out where the Johnson family is in comparison to everybody else. And remember, still got plenty of time to make that top 10. Warren just 6 points out of that top 10. Kurt a little bit further behind, but like I said, still plenty of time to work on it. As Mike Edwards leading this class, the gap between 1 and 2 bigger than the gaps between 1 and 2 of the other 3 pro classes combined. That's what kind of year Mike Edwards is having in this class, and it's simply stunning.
It is amazing. I mean, what do you got to do to catch Mike Edwards, you think, Warren?
Well, if you look at the history of Pro Stock from the inception of it, there's been periods all along where a team has been dominant for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We had a great run in the 90s for 10 years, and Mike is doing an excellent job with his equipment and his personnel at this point in time. But, all that is just the impetus for somebody else to step up. That's really what it amounts to. And you can see that in any form of motorsports, too. You got one team on top, the rest of them figure, damn it, I'm going to get down to work and equal them or better them.
Yeah, another team having a good weekend this weekend is Johnny Gray. And pitside, that's where we find Gary Gerald.
For Johnny Gray, qualified 3rd, and that's the best he's ever qualified in this very tough class. And he and his son Shane been working diligently to build a 2-car team, trying to carve out your own niche here in a very tough category, because you got the likes of that Summit team, and you got Warren, and you got Kurt, and you got Mike Edwards, and Jake Coughlin, and Alan Johnson. It just goes on and on. How big of a challenge has this been, Johnny?
Probably bigger than I should have took on, but we're doing all right. We got started here the first year, struggled a little bit, and we're still struggling with power and stuff. But it's coming together. We found some stuff testing over in St. Louis, and the car's really coming around. So if we can get our motor program going a little better, we'll get in their back pocket.
You like the hot slip racetrack?
My car seems to right now, so I think I do.
Well, we wish you well today. Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, I appreciate it. We'll see if we can get this NTB car to do something today.
Like another team that had a lot of work, Roger Brogdon, flashback to pretty bad thing for him at Gateway, but this team came back, did not make the show this week. Considering they brought that race car back, that's amazing.
That was absolutely amazing. After qualifying second, his career best in St. Louis, had this incident in the first round. Just got that car up on its roof, slid into the right side wall, and the crew did a tremendous job to bring that car back. As you said, they did not qualify, but just the fact that they made it to the racetrack and made 4 attempts is pretty amazing.
Warren, you've always talked about work ethic, and you've always been a hard worker. How do you gauge 1 year from the next success based on work effort? Because you're always working hard.
Well, years ago I used to work. If I needed 24 or 48 hours straight, that's what I'd do. I'm slowed down to probably 14 to 18 hours a day. It's about the most I could put in. So you just, when you're in your own business, you work as hard as you need to, because if the business isn't successful, you just look in the mirror and you can see where the problem's at.
I used to love your statement. Say, I only worked a half day on Christmas, 12 hours.
That's it. Well, that win, the 97, came after a 4-year gap. And for more on that gap, let's find out the stat man stat of the race with Lewis Bloom. Good morning, Lewis.
Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Mike, and the professor and KJ. Think about this. Warren Johnson took 4 years to win the race at St. Louis, but in actual track time, letting the clutch out, 14 minutes, 39.647 seconds. That's racing on race day combined. An amazing stat, and I love the professor, one of my favorite drag racers of all time.
And how many man hours are we talking there? Countless, I'm sure. Hey, let's go fan question now. John McCowan's back there from Ardmore, Alabama. You got a question for the Johnsons? Fire away.
Warren, I was wondering if you was grumpy as you was appear to be on TV.
Hey, now. Hey.
No, actually, Grumpy either lives at the North Pole or in Pennsylvania. And really, I'm really the nicest SOB I know.
There you go. I like that. Let's take it with our ESPN.com question. You can go to Sports Nation and find this one. The question this week surrounding Warren Johnson, the winningest driver in pro stock history. He just won his 97th career win. The question asked, do you think that he will reach career win number 100? So far, Warren, 69% of the people that have voted, and it's very, very early, think that you can do that. Do you think you can get to 100?
Well, you know, if I proceed at the rate I have in the recent past, it'll take me 12 more years, and I don't think I could hold up that long. But we're picking up the program, so both Kurt and I will be having some wins here shortly.
Guys, thank you so much. Warren Johnson, who gets the race, Alan Johnson, Kurt Johnson, who gets Johnny Gray later today. Check out how the Johnson